Welcome to New Day Cleveland. I'm Natalie Herbick, and today we are exploring beautiful Geauga County, from Burton to Chardon and everywhere in between. The county is so full of charm and history, and I think that we should start off by enjoying the unbelievable scenery.
There are so many things to do in the Geauga Park District. We have 10,000 acres, a little over 10,000 acres, 22 open parks. We have miles and miles, I think 70 miles of trails for hiking, biking, horseback riding. We have camping. We have a brand new high ropes course. We have nature education programs, special events. Really, we have something for everything. But I think the big draw for our parks is just the natural wonders that we have for people to enjoy. Burton Wetlands is a little off the beaten path, so it's probably a park that not a lot of people, even county residents, know much about. So we really hope people come out and see this gem. It has obviously the beautiful Lake Kelso behind me here, which is one of the most pristine natural lakes in the state of Ohio. There are other natural lakes in Ohio, but none in this pristine condition. So around the lake, you can see numbers of birds, bald eagles, osprey. I've seen river otters here, beavers, a number of dragonflies and damselflies. Just the population of wildlife here in this park is astounding. No matter when you go out into the parks, there's an explosion of activity, and fall is no exception. Obviously, the beautiful fall colors are great. We have a lot of amazing parks, lots of trees, lots of beautiful colors to discover out here. Animals are getting ready for hibernation, migration, so there's a wide variety of birds, tiny little animals getting ready for hibernation, large animals getting ready for hibernation, a lot of cool things to discover. Insect chorus, monarch butterflies are still migrating through. So we're going to tag this little butterfly. I've already written down some information. These are the little tags that we put on the butterfly's wings. So I'm going to take this little guy or gal out. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I'll take it out of here and I'm going to see if it's a boy or a girl. I can just open up the wings here. It's just a myth that if you touch a butterfly's wings, it can't fly, but you got to be careful. This little black dot right there, it's called an alar gland, and that tells me that that's a boy. Butterfly, monarch butterflies, the boys have the daddy dots. Those are alar glands. So I'm going to write M for male. He's a male. I've already written down his information on the data sheets. Take this tiny little sticker, which has a website, Monarch Watch. It has a phone number and it has his unique number on. Put that right on his wing. Hold it for about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's time to let this guy go. 3, 2, 1, his first flight. There it goes. Off to Mexico. Okay, in here we have a red eft I'm going to take out. It's a juvenile red spotted newt. Those are the salamanders that you see in ponds, but this is what the young one looks like. It's called a red eft. It lives for a few years on the forest floor, and it's so common here. It's an amphibian, not a reptile. But it lives on the forest floor for a few years, and then it'll change colors to like a greenish color. The tail will change to be more adapted for swimming, and then it'll head back to a pond, find a mate, and then raise young there in the pond where it'll spend the rest of its life. But this little wonder is here out in the Geauga parks. It's pretty common in northeastern Ohio natural areas, but many people have never seen one of these things before. Really, really neat. I think all of our parks have something unique. You know, that's great. That's why I love just, experiencing all the parks. What I love about this park is just the variety, the diversity of not only animals that you can see here, but plants, a poison sumac. You can find carnivorous pitcher plants here and little sundews. They're carnivorous plants here. So just the variety of life that you find in this park really gets me excited, and there's always something new to discover in this park, and really all of our parks.
Get this, there are 22 parks for you to explore right here in Geauga County. Speaking of good places to go and visit, how about a restaurant that is dedicated to freshness?
Well, we had our original restaurant across the street. The building over on this side came up for sale, so we went ahead and said, let's buy it. And we ended up building a new restaurant. We make homemade pasta from scratch, and we have a lot of good meals now, and we're going to keep expanding on it. And whatever's in season, we'll start adding to our dishes. We're a true like farm-to-table restaurant. Our farm is 2 miles down the road, so we pick produce and stuff comes off our farm and it goes right into your meals. I'm going from the farm to the pizza shop and back to the farm. So I go back to the farm and then they call me and they says, hey, we need tomatoes or we need something else. So I go out and pick it and then we bring it back to here. I enjoy it because you can't get any fresher. My wife Annie makes pasta. We bought a machine from Italy and it makes really good pasta. It's not like getting it out of a box. She makes it fresh 2 or 3 times a week. And we use the best semolina, so that makes a difference. Everybody loves it. It's very good. I like having the family involved. We do sandwiches, we use our homemade meatballs or our homemade sausage on the sandwiches. Make the pizza from scratch and everything's like hand pressed out or hand tossed if you want a thin crust. And then we use a stone oven, whole different flavor. So the pizza gets cooked in there and then it just comes out a lot better. Our whole concept from our farm to our having the pizza shop and now our new restaurant is local. I mean, we have a beer selection, everything is Ohio beer. We have a wine selection, everything's Ohio wine. We try to support, we have ice cream here from Hinckley and milk from Burton, and we even have eggs here from the farm, and I have people just walk in to buy eggs because they know they can get them here. Auburn hasn't had much development over here, and we're like the talk of the town, that we're the spark for the corner, that now we can maybe get some more businesses in here. They support us, we support them, and it helps everybody. When customers come in, I get excited. And it's not just the money, I enjoy making customers happy. It's actually a pleasure. I enjoy work. I enjoy creating things and I enjoy helping people. And it's just, I like the challenge. Because everybody wants to eat healthy and they want to know where the produce is coming from or where their product's coming from, and they know that when they're getting it here, it's coming from the farm.
Sirna's Farm Fresh Kitchen is closed on Mondays. When we return, giving some new life to your old furniture. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland and our road trip here in Geauga County. How about locally grown grapes fresh pressed into wine? That is what you will find at Laleure Vineyards.
My wife and I moved from Bainbridge back in '97. And we looked around, we bought this farm we happened to be on a business trip. We were traveling along and this farm was for sale and it was beautiful. So we decided, well, let's take a look into it, and about a year later we owned it. And we looked around and said, what are we going to do? And we said, well, what about grapes? And of course, we didn't know much about grapes at all, other than we love to drink wine. But it was a farm, and why not try it? And then I talked with many of the people in the state, and we decided to try an experiment in the vineyard up on the west side of the property. And there we planted 4 grapes. After 3 years or so, everything was growing. So it really worked out pretty well. We have a wonderful site here for growing grapes. It's on a long hill, and it's actually at the headwaters of the Grand River. So Laleure is a winery that grows all its grapes. We're an estate vineyard, and we grow all of our grapes right on the property here in Parkman, Ohio, and we make all the wines here. We don't import anything. We don't bring in juice. We don't bring in materials from other vineyards around the country. I feel that we are producing what Ohio can produce. So a lot of people ask me here at Laleure, how does red wine get red? And it's pretty interesting because all red wine gets its color from the skins. I'm going to show you right now a red wine that's fermenting. This is actually a Cabernet Franc that was just picked earlier this week. And you can see in here, during the fermenting process, the grape skins all come to the surface. But in order to impart color, you need to get those skins down into the fruit, into the juice. And so I take a plunger and do pushing up and down. Push those skins down, and we'll do this 4 or 5 times a day to get those skin contact, so and you can see a nice red juice in here right now. We'll make Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Cabernet Franc, and Riesling, and a few hybrids, Chambourcin, which is actually a wonderful French-American hybrid, as well as Vignoles. Right now we're actually in one of the barrel rooms for Laleure, and in this room what's going on is aging. Some of our aged wines are many, many years in oak, some of them just 1 or 2, or sometimes for a Chardonnay much shorter period. But in here we do have wines such as Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Cabernet Franc. We do have wines that are blends, and we have the Three Dog White, and that's a blend of several, it's a very crisp wine, a blend of Vignoles and Bianca. And we have our Three Dog Red, which is a blend of Pinot Noir and Cabernet Franc. And the 3 dogs, well, that is their picture on the label of dogs who have resided at the winery who are no longer with us, but we still remember them well. People ask me often, what is Laleure? Is it a word? It's my grandmother's maiden name. She was a war bride that came over after World War I with my grandfather, who was a soldier in France. So he came over from the US and he brought her back. And so she was also the one that got my wife and I to have a glass of wine every day. And she said, Richard, you must have wine each day. So when people come to the Laleure Vineyards, one of the first things that will happen is they'll probably see Max, our dog. And Max will wander out and he'll often lead you to the small tasting room. But when you come into the tasting room, you'll be greeted by the manager or the tasting room workers, and they'll just have lots of different wines, and it's a very small charge to try a number of them. And then later on, when the people are trying the wines, they might wander into the back room, and we have a large tasting room inside and a pretty large outside patio area from which you can see Pennsylvania actually on a clear day.
Laleure Vineyards is located in Parkman, and if you would like to schedule a visit, just give them a call. Well, we now are heading to a place in Chardon where a local woman reimagines your furniture.
I learned how to reupholster furniture in Colorado, and I was out there for 8 years, and I absolutely loved it. But I came to a point in my life where I really wanted to start my own business. My family has always been so supportive of me. That's actually where the name Beving and Dall comes from. It's from 2 family names. So I wanted to move back here to kind of be close to people who were supporting me and helping me get a small business started. I think Cleveland's kind of on the rise right now. It's a great place to be in for a small business. I really am intrigued and interested by the ever-changing flow of the furniture and the people. I love interior design. I love textiles. I love meeting someone's needs and trying to figure out what it is exactly that they're looking for. That is a really rewarding experience to me. We offer full-service fabric selection, so we guide clients to find a fabric that fits their aesthetic and their lifestyle, whether they have children or pets, or if they just want a really special piece. We offer everything from basic fabric to leather, vinyls, everything you could really imagine. This is a piece that's still in progress. The back cushion needs to be made. Still, you can see on the side, the arms need to still be put on, and we have a skirt that's going on there as well. People bring us things to be reupholstered because it's something that they're attached to and they love. They can't find that piece new. So they want to update it and they want to personalize it with their own sort of flair, their fabric selection, anything like that. They want a one-of-a-kind original piece. We do tufted pieces, love seats, settees, custom ottomans. We build headboards. We do a lot of soft goods as well. We don't handle drapery, but we do almost everything else besides that. Something that sets us apart as well is we really work within a timeline. So if you have something that needs to be finished in a timely fashion, we get it done. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to take your money. I want to meet your needs. And I think the only way I can do that is being honest about what should be upholstered and what shouldn't. We offer complimentary consultations. They can text us a picture, or if they feel more comfortable with us coming into the space, we can measure the furniture, assess the furniture, recommend different things that maybe need to be repaired. Another thing that we offer is deliveries within an hour-and-a-half radius of our shop. And it also is a unique thing that I'm a female in this industry because it is predominantly dominated by men. I would never want to get a job just because I am a woman. I'd want to get a job because they really think I'm the best person for it. And that is something that I'm trying to prove constantly, and the only way I can do that is to let the work speak for itself.
Beving and Dall is located in Chardon. After the break, I'm visiting a restaurant that is full of history. So this was recently recognized as one of Cleveland's top 10 restaurants. So you know that you have to make a visit here to Welshfield Inn in Burton. Bob, I can tell already by this place. You walk in, it's this beautiful old farmhouse. How long has this been here?
Well, the original structure was built in 1842, and our group acquired it in 2007.
You mentioned your group, and if you know the name Driftwood Properties, you know that it's always quality food, quality restaurants, and this was, I didn't realize this was their first stop.
Yep, this was the initial undertaking where it all started. We are very proud to be the flagship and represent, be part of that great group.
Well, I mean, it speaks for itself when you talk about the fact that it was recognized for having amazing food. And the proof is in the pudding, so to speak, right in front of us.
Absolutely.
I mean, you brought these two dishes out, and I thought, wow, this is one of your biggest sellers here,
This
right?
is our pork schnitzel, and with the lemon hollandaise, jumbo asparagus, hand mashed potatoes, and it is an amazing dish and an amazing seller.
Now this,
Our
my mouth's sort of watering.
certified Angus pot roast, and this has been around for a long time. It's a huge seller. It's a mainstay. It's a staple.
Now you also make your bakery products here.
We do. We're very proud to have a baker, a full-time baker, and the cinnamon rolls go out to every guest, and they're complimentary.
That's
and
trouble,
they're
and yet
amazing.
so good.
Actually, I wanted to mention also that the cinnamon roll recipe has survived since the 1940s when the Holmes family owned the restaurant, and their baker, and it's actually, we used their recipe.
You're in the heart of Amish country,
We
correct?
are, sure.
And so I always think Amish country, I think home cooked, from scratch, hearty meals.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's really what you deliver.
That's what we deliver. We deliver comfort food, and we're known for our comfort food. We do have some other items. Our chef does a great job with specials. But people come in and they make a comment all the time that they feel like they belong here, and it's a sense of home. It takes them back to their childhood.
Well, in the restaurant itself, you come in here, I know what we have in the front there, that was the original
Part of the
home.
building.
You make it feel very homey, you make it feel cozy.
It's a people business, and we want to make people feel comfortable, give them a sense of belonging, and our staff does it. We deliver part of Driftwood, and part of the Welshfield Inn from day one has been deliver hospitality. So we talk about it not just as you would think about it at greeting someone at home, but that this is hospitality on the plate, and it's a big part of our success.
Well, I've been talking to people here, and let me tell you, not a lot of them are from right around here. They make the drive to come here.
They do.
And one person will say, this is their favorite, another say, that pot pie over there looked delicious, the beef stroganoff sounds amazing. And you can also have weddings here. You have a banquet hall,
We
correct?
do. We have a banquet hall it's an older church building that was actually built in a couple years before the Welshfield Inn, but our group acquired it in 2010, and we were very fortunate to be able to do that. We accommodate weddings up to 240, 250 people, and inside we can do up to 90. The Burton Middlefield Rotary eats here every week, and we're just very fortunate to be here in this great setting.
So you're right on Main Market, Main Market Drive here.
Right. Also known as 422.
Also known as 422 if you're coming in. And then are you open how many days a week?
We're open 7 days a week.
7 days a week too, so keep that in mind.
Fantastic brunch on Sundays from 10 until 2.
You've been voted best brunch too.
We did. We were recognized for our brunch, and we owe it all to our staff and our people.
Well, keep that in mind as you come out here on your road trip to Geauga County. It is a must stop. I'm digging in now. I said I would.
Thank you.
1 quick second is all you need to know it's fabulous.
Perfect.
It's amazing.
Good.
Our road trip continues after the break. to our road trip here in Geauga County. Our next stop has been called the best wine shop in Cleveland. This is Colonial Beverage.
The advantage of having learned about wine through my experience rather than having taken a bunch of classes or some tests and whatnot is that I learned it in a way that's very easy to understand and easy to communicate. So a big part of what we do here is taking things that are sometimes seen as complicated or difficult and making them palatable for the everyday Joe. We call it being informally informative. There's nothing worse than going out to a nice meal or to a bottle shop and feeling as though you're being talked down to. It's just fermented grape juice, and we can talk an awful lot about it, or as little as anybody wants. And that's part of the charm of the shop. So you never leave thinking, man, that person didn't know what they were talking about, but you also feel like, I learned something today. What set us apart to start with, many years before I even ever worked here, was closeout buying. We have the largest inventory of closeout wines in Northeast Ohio. And by closeout, I mean wines that I buy the end of a lot, and I say, okay, you have your next vintage coming in. Let's say it's like a car dealership. You've got the 16s coming in, you got to get rid of your 15s. Same deal goes with my distributors. So I'll say, okay, you have 3 cases left, make me a good offer. The high-end side of our wines, we keep roughly everything over $40 in a cold room that I keep at 55 degrees with the appropriate humidity. We keep a massive selection. We're very old world fluent, and that's something that you don't see everywhere. So you will find places that do high-end wine, but it's mostly Napa Cabs or Sonoma Chardonnay. But we're very fluent, very, very French heavy. I'm a bit of a Francophile myself, so Bordeaux, Burgundy, Rhone, we're your guys. Education is a big part of what we do here. The happy hours that I host every week on Fridays from 4 to 7 are the first line of education that we do, and that's very informal. Every week we do 5 wines, $5, I bake some bread. Here you have a nice spectrum, right? Of lighter to heavier. Each wine cleans up the one before it. And it offers my customers a wonderful spread of values. Do you want everydayers? Do you want something special? Do you want something even more special and great for the money? And then this changes every week. And they're always a mixture of familiar and unfamiliar. I look forward to 4 o'clock on Fridays because I get to talk about new stuff with my customers. I get to show them new discoveries that I might have made or a crazy deal that I tracked down. And so I've found that the Friday afternoon, which sometimes can be a little slow, has become one of our busiest times of the week.
Colonial Beverage is located in Chesterland. They are open Tuesday through Saturday. How about a sweet shop that specializes in cake? That sounds pretty good to me.
I actually started when I was a kid. I remember my first olive green easy bake oven way back when. Just always fascinated with the baking end of the kitchen work. I actually started going to school for a while and studied a food service business. And I worked for restaurants, I worked for caterers, I did all kinds of stuff, but I never really touched cake decorating until I was, actually, I think I was 24 years old. And I just started taking some classes, and before I knew it, I actually was enjoying it. I was enjoying creating and making things look good. So in the case, probably blueberry muffins are always a stellar seller. But we also do some kind of fruit and cheese muffin. Everything we do is fresh from scratch, all natural as we can do it. We also do fresh cupcakes every single day. And I think we have a dozen different varieties and seasonal varieties. We wanted to make some cookie bars. And so we started with a few, and before we knew it, some people were saying, well, will you cut it up because I want to share it with somebody. So then we're like, well, we might be onto something. So before we knew it, we started making more bars. So we make a s'mores bar, we make a lemon bar, we make Kahlua fudge bars, we make M&M bars, peanut butter bars, pecan pie bars, and a lot of these all of these bars can be cut up in bite-sized pieces. We put them in little cups and we serve them in big trays or small trays for any kind of party. So the other things we do is we do fresh homemade jams. I've been making jams since I was a kid, and our jams, we're so proud to use local fruits that we go and pick from the local farmers, whether it be blueberry or strawberries or peaches or whatever. So we use only local honey in it as well. I am Polish, so I'm proud to say that we do a handful of Polish items. One of the things we do is an old-fashioned Polish cheesecake, and I am amazed at how many people will taste our cheesecake and they're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what my grandmother made. This is exactly what I wanted. So our cheesecake is Polish, meaning it's lighter, it's not as dense or heavy, it has a sweet sour cream topping, and it just melts in your mouth. The community wanted more than just cakes and cupcakes and cookies. They wanted food as well, and where we live, we figured, well, let's give it a try. So we started with a little bit of sandwiches and wraps, and then it evolved to more sandwiches and more wraps, and then it would be involved to soups. Probably our biggest selling soups would be cheeseburger soup, chicken pot pie soup, chicken noodle soup. Those are probably the top three, but we have quite a few that we've developed, our own recipes from scratch, and we sell tons of them. We also do lots of salads, and the salads we're so blessed because down the road is Great Lakes Growers in Burton, and it's a hydroponic lettuces. They're beautiful, they're crisp, they're clean, they're fresh, and people just love our salads. We also do make our own chicken salad, tuna salad, and egg salad. So to add on to our soup, sandwiches, and salads, we decided, well, let's try some hot sandwiches. So now we do a really good turkey Reuben. We do a tuna melt on the panini. We do make your own grilled cheese sandwich, add what you want on there. And we also even have breakfast sandwiches that we put on the breakfast burritos or breakfast sandwiches on the panini press. It takes a lot to make this business work, and so blessed with so many wonderful people to work for me. Grandma Kay, my mother, works with us often. She does a lot of packaging or helping here and there. But we also have, my sister works for me. I have some really good friends. My soon-to-be daughter-in-law works for me. And we have just such great camaraderie. We have so much fun. We work hard. Like everybody else says in the bakery business, you work really hard. Long hours, work hard, but we just have fun together. And so that makes it all better. It makes it all worth it.
DS Cake and Sweet Shops is located in Newbury. Trust me when I say it's out of this world. More New Day Cleveland after this short break. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. We have found the perfect spot to grab a cup of coffee and curl up with a good book. This is Coffee Corners.
Well, originally it was all antiques, and then we started the coffee. Then over the years, the coffee became the moneymaker and our main focus, but we kept the antiques where it gives you that cozy atmosphere. People like Burton said that coffee shop wouldn't go in Burton, and we've been here 22 years. So lattes, mochas, cappuccinos, all specialty grade. We use a roaster in Cleveland, privately labeled with us. We serve wine, we serve sandwiches, we serve pastry, which we come in at 5 o'clock in the morning and bake everything fresh every day. Our most popular drink is our Coffee Corners Mocha. It's a chocolate recipe that I used starting 22 years ago, and that's probably our featured drink. But then we also have two other featured drinks. There's a Burton and a Badger. There was 3 girls that came in and we said, well, we need a signature drink of a Badger. What would it be? Well, they came up with chocolate, cinnamon, and vanilla. And I said, well, I can't do 3 flavors. Let's just pick 2. So they picked cinnamon and vanilla. So it was actually the high school girls that named the Badger. And then the Burton is maple syrup. Well, we are the hub of the community. I mean, if you ever want to know anything that goes on in Burton, just come into the coffee shop. In the morning, all these chairs are filled with guys. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only lady here, but they will solve all the local politics, all the local sports, but that's the group. And then they come in phases. There's the first group, then the second group comes in, And it's a mixture of ladies and men, and they stay for a couple hours. We get a lot of students who come in from Kent State Geauga, come up, sit on their computers, and do their work before going back to class. And after school, as you've seen, it was all the kids come after school. People will either get a book and they'll sit down and read the book. We also let them take them, bring them back. They bring other books back at the same time, and sometimes we sell them. They're either 50 cents or $1. The wines that we sell are mostly Ohio. We do have a few California and Argentina, but majority of my wines are local. We have Geauga County, which is Laleure. We have Thorn Creek, which is in Aurora. We have the ones, of course, up by in Madison by the lake. There's Laurentia, St. Joseph, Debonnaire, and then we have them as far out as Mecca, which is Green Eagle Winery. We have Sharon and James, which is right here in Newbury. So it's mostly, majority of them are Ohio. I mean, we've been here a long time. I'm hoping at some point my son will take it over, but I'm not leaving for a while. But we, it's like any other family-owned things, there's good and there's bad. But for the most part, we have a good time. We all have different avenues. I'm involved in the community a lot. My husband is a football coach at the high school. My son lives right down the road. So it's very family-oriented.
Coffee Corners is in Burton. How about heading over to Middlefield now, where you can find a shop that specializes in all natural products for your skin.
His daughter is a shop that sells soaps, lotions, sugar scrubs. We sell essential oils. We're now natural deodorants, natural cleaners. We're now getting into CBD oil. It's cannabinoid oil, so it just brings mild relaxation, and it also helps with fibromyalgia, it helps with Parkinson's, it helps with anxiety, depression, and we're just starting in it very slowly. So we're just making 100 and 200 milligram tinctures, and we're also doing a salve that you put right on your skin to help with pain and inflammation. So we're just going real slow into that. We have lash serum, we have sugar scrubs, bath bombs, shower bombs. We just have anything that's natural and that you can use for your body or in your home. I love making soap, and everything else stems from using simple ingredients in a natural way that are probably more beneficial for you than you can get in the store. The cost is there, but the quality is superior. We start with everything basic, from scratch, simple ingredients, and then we make everything ourselves. So that's how we do it here. It's his daughter. We try to take out a lot of the unknowns and we know that if we use the highest available qualities we can buy, and the end result's going to be high qualities. And the other aspect of the business is we have two to three additional people who sell their reclaimed vintage items, and we also carry the fusion paint line. So we have classes that I think we appeal to that broad market. Either you like the natural stuff or you like the decor, home decor, doing that kind of design. So we try to get that broad spectrum of mostly ladies, but guys like it too. The reason to come out and try is that it's a lot of times better for you and even cost effective to try our products. The soap is made from all natural plant-based oils. Even the deodorant, our secret ingredient is organic powdered sugar, which works with your pH and keeps you, it doesn't necessarily keep you super dry, but it does keep you not being stinky, and it's completely natural. And it's in all that stuff, if you look at the ingredients in its counterpart, there's a lot of chemicals, a lot of aluminums in your deodorant. So this is just a natural way to keep you smelling good. Also, like my hand salve, I've made that for many years, and it's made with weeds, herbs that I grow myself. I make my own oil and I infuse it into the hand salve, and people swear by it. They love it. I've done that for many years. My all-natural bug spray. If you look what's on bug spray, this is 4 essential oils witch hazel, and it really does keep the bugs away. It's funny, people come in, they try it hesitantly, and then they come in and they're like, it really works, and yes, it does. It just, like I said, is using simple ingredients in a simple way to have an alternative to all those chemicals that are out there.
His daughter is located in Middlefield. Still to come, jewelry with a powerful message. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. Why not treat yourself to a classy afternoon tea? We are headed to 7 Ladies Tea Parlor.
So at 7 Ladies, we want you to feel like you're actually walking into some place you've been before, your grandmother's, your aunts. Home and warm, comfortable, you want to take off your shoes, jump on the couch kind of feel. A lot of comfortable food and great things to enjoy at the end. We always try to tempt you with a little something sweet at the end to go with that last bit of that pot of tea. I think it's a chance to step back in time, really look at some things, unwind, put your phone down for a second, and have some great communication and great lunch with a girlfriend or your husband. Lots of guys enjoy the tea room as well, so it's a chance to just take a minute and step back from the busy day that most of us have. At 7 Ladies, it was really a love affair to get the house put back to the Victorian state. My partner and I both really love antiques and old things, so getting it put back in the space that it belongs. The house is 180 years old. It was built in the 1800s and actually owned by a judge here in Chardon at one time as well. And he raised his family here, and so being able to be close to the square and really have people enjoy the heritage and the historic piece of Chardon is important to us. So right over my shoulder, I actually have 4 of the 7 Ladies here, and then on another wall, the other 3 7 Ladies, and they are actually my great-grandmothers, my grandmothers, my mother-in-law, and my mom, who were so inspirational and involved in helping me understand the true meaning of hospitality. High tea is something that's typically served in the afternoon, so it's going to have tea sandwiches and savories, usually a hot and a cold item. We like to offer something different every day, so it's never the same thing at high tea. All kinds of amazing desserts prepared in-house, those fantastic scones everyone's talking about, and of course a little fresh fruit to cleanse your palate as you enjoy your high tea. A lot of the things that we have in the menu are actually family recipes, so things like my Grandma Ruth's chicken pot pie, my own personal vegetable lasagna that we got to see somebody enjoying, and even some of the soups that are prepared daily, just some things that are a little bit more substantial than your normal tea room food. We're very friendly with gluten-free guests and vegan or vegetarian guests as well, and we even go as far as making sure that we have gluten-free desserts. So today we actually have a Death by Chocolate that's completely gluten-free for our guests. We actually have 30 to 35 different types of tea. It is actually set up very much like a wine list. It lists separate sections of the types of tea that we carry, a little bit of everything. We even have our very own house blend that you would often find in my grandmother's and my great-grandmother's parlor as well. Teas are something that people are very selective with. Again, it's very much like wine. You like what you like, and so getting our guests to try new things and getting them to make sure that we have their own staples and favorites like that creamy, delicious Earl Grey or that English breakfast tea is something easy. All of the staff here at 7 Ladies has had an opportunity to try every single tea and the one with everything on the food. So they'll be able to give you personal recommendations, and they'll be able to steer you in the direction of things that you enjoy that would pair very well with whatever you're choosing to eat. We do have a private room that seats up to 10 people. It's called the Audrey Rose Room. It's done in complete roses. It's really a beautiful one long large table that seats up to 10 people. It's typically family style or buffet upstairs. You can actually go online to book that information or call us directly at the tea room. And then we also do showers, rehearsal dinners, things like that, private parties here on the main floor as well. It's pretty inspiring that there's so many people coming from different places to check it out and to be here on a regular basis. It's nice to see some familiar faces pretty regularly.
7 Ladies Tea Parlor is located in Chardon, and while you're in the area, why not stop at a jewelry shop? It's run by 2 sisters, and their mission is to inspire.
Love Designs Boutique is a faith-based jewelry business,
And we started about 11 years ago, just creating a simple bracelet, making jewelry, and it's just expanded into what our passion truly is, and that is just spreading the word of God through our jewelry and just uplifting and encouraging women. Love Designs is from our maiden name. Our maiden name is Love. And so we wanted to incorporate that into our business, and since we're sisters, we decided that it should be Love Designs. Our jewelry can be found online, lovedesignsboutique.etsy.com. You can also find it in some local stores, the Nest in Chardon, and also the Twisted Twig in Burton. I was a stay-at-home mom. I had recently quit my job, and my sister Hannah also, I think, just had had a baby. And we have this creative energy, and we just wanted to do something. And we wanted to do something that would bring honor and glory to God. So we decided to start making jewelry. So we found hand stamping, and that was just a great way to incorporate our faith and also to be able to encourage women. And it's a daily reminder to women. We have bracelets that we make, necklaces, and we do some work with beads and some gemstones. So hand stamping is metal stamping. So we have a bunch of tools, and you take an actual individual stamp that has a letter on it or a symbol, and you actually put it on a piece of metal, and you use a hammer and you stamp it onto it. So each letter is individually stamped. A lot of the jewelry that you find in the store is kind of mass produced. It has lots of key phrases like grateful, thankful, things that you're going to see over and over again. What makes us different is that you can personalize your jewelry. It's customized to what is truly in your own heart, what you want. Some people love to have scripture, like the whole scripture on the bracelet. And that carries a little bit more meaning. And then on the insides of the bracelets, you can put something else. Maybe it's very personal to you and you don't want anyone else to see it, but you can still be reminded of it throughout your day. Stamping parties are interesting and so much fun. Usually we do 8 to 10 women, sometimes more. We've had up to 20, but we invite them either to our studio, or we've had it also at the Nest in Chardon. But they can come, we bring all of our stamping supplies, and they can stamp their own bracelet and take it home with them that day. Our most popular items that we sell are definitely our bracelets and our Mama Bear collection. So we have lots of different bracelets and necklaces that have just Mama Bear on them, and women just love those. I love working with my sister. Being with her almost every day we're together. And we've just been doing this for so long, and we are best friends. And it's such a blessing to be with her and to be with her kids every day. And mine are older. Mine are in college and in school. So it's just fun to do life together.
That wraps up our road trip here in Geauga County. So we visited about a handful of towns. You're out in the country, so no matter what time of year you come, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. I'd love to give a wonderful thanks again to Welshfield Inn, who hosted us. The food was delicious. Their patio out here is spectacular. There really is a lot to offer here. Get in the car and come on out and visit. I'm Natalie Herbick, and I'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland.